Well, Coach, a lot of turnover in terms of the roster. Let's start with the guys that are in the NBA now. I mean, 4 starters from your squad last year are on NBA twos, going through their preseason right now. Just talk about that pop of pride that has to be there for you.
Well, there's certainly pride because you're excited to see people reach their dreams. 24 years ago when I decided to do this, I got into the business for that reason alone, to help young people reach their dreams. I mean, I'm prideful as hell with that. However, you hate to lose those guys because they were really good. and they were good kids. That was fun to coach. And, that team won a lot of games last year. And I think, had a chance to do some special things, if we had a little bit more luck down the stretch. But that team is no longer here. The season ended the way it ended. I think we're excited to, have become the winningest team in the SEC the last couple of years. And I think our fan base is going to be tremendously excited to watch this group of young men play.
I want to get to them in a second, your current team. But one last thing on those guys that left. In recruiting, even though it's not the be-all, end-all, how much do you think that has moved the needle for you in recruiting? As just an additional piece to everything else you guys have going to sell Tennessee, to have that development and pathway to the NBA established?
There's no question that's helped because it validates the things that we've been saying for the last couple of years. For example, the guys that we're getting committed these days are guys that we've been recruiting for a couple of years. We've been talking about this process being possible. Coach Barnes has always had a track record of doing these type of things at other programs. However, when you actually achieve it, it's like being a stockbroker and you buy stock with that guy and he says, all right, 2 years, you put this amount of money down and you invested here, this is what's going to happen, the market's going to do this, and it does it. It validates his credibility. Now he becomes very, very credible. So I think that's what's happened for us, is that we've been talking about this for a while. When you see 4 guys who weren't top 50, not even top 100 players, even though they should have been, go and 3 get drafted, and the 4th, who's the rawest, the most raw player, in the group, and Kyle go make a Miami Heat team. That's really, really exciting, and the future is bright.
Let's talk about it for some of your newcomers. Obviously, we'll start with Josiah. Obviously, he's talented. His star rating says that. For people that haven't seen him play, what are some other things that he will bring to the table to help this team?
Well, I'll say this. First of all, when you're a 5-star guy, this is just my opinion. I might be way in left field with this, but my impression of it is this: when you're a 5-star player, what it says, what that title gives you, or that ranking gives you, is that I have been super consistent for the majority of my high school career. Is what it says. And sometimes you get guys that might not have that rating that play well. They've just arrived, they're getting better and better with it. But when those guys come in as 5-stars, saying that for a long time I have been dominating my level and getting it done, for a while. And that's what he's been doing. I mean, he's just a winner. He's won high school, state championships. He played for a non-shoe company AAU program and won a lot of games against the quote-unquote stacked shoe company type teams. He's loyal. He's an incredibly loyal kid, super smart and mature, and I just can't wait to coach him during games and see him out there on the court. And the great thing is, with Lamonte Turner being a senior, a redshirt senior, and he's clicked, he's transformed himself into one of the best point guards in the country. You couldn't ask for a better scenario for Josiah, because the pressure that most 5-star players have to come and be the savior, he doesn't have that here. Although his role is going to be significant, he's going to have some veterans in Lamonte and Jerome Bowden that will help him have a much, much smoother transition than most.
This is a different Lamonte Turner now, isn't it, than you've seen from obviously when he got here, but even from last year.
Yeah. This is grown man Tay. We've had young Tay, as a freshman and sophomore. This is grown man Tay, who just seems to do the right things. I mean, he's not perfect. He's a human. He'll make mistakes, I'm sure, but he's trying to do the right things. When you talk to him, he just sounds like a veteran that's won. And you know what? He and Coach have become incredibly close. because I think Lamonte truly understands what Coach wants out of that position at a high level.
Jordan's another guy that obviously Bowden is important. You guys are going to play another big role. What have you seen sort of in his development from last year to try to help you guys this year?
I think we're going to have one of the best backcourts, if not the best backcourt in the country. With just those two, and then when you add Josiah to the equation, this is going to be a special backcourt. But with Bowden, when he's playing with Tay, the way that he's shooting and scoring the basketball is like something I've never seen in my 24 years of coaching and practice. His shot looks beautiful. He's confident. He elevates. He's making plays. Now, the one thing he's getting better at, because Coach is super smart, Coach Barnes knows that in order for Bowden to have a long NBA career, he's got to do it as a ball handler somewhere. So in practice, he'll put him against Lamonte, and that's not really what he's comfortable doing just yet. So he's taking on that challenge, and right now he's trying to figure that part of it out, being on a great team sometimes. But you put them both together, and I mean, there's something to watch. The ball's going to the basket at a high clip. We're shooting threes and playing fast. We haven't shot this amount of threes in my entire 4 years here. So the fan base is going to be super excited to watch how we're playing this year.
Obviously, there'll be times where all three of them are on the court at the same time.
No question. A lot of times, sure.
So what about if you need to go to the bench beyond those guys in terms of ball handlers, spotting those guys? What are your options there?
Well, talking to Coach Barnes, as we looked at recruiting a few months ago, and we talked about this year's team and then next year's team, the one thing he said was, we could be really special this year if John Fulkerson and Jalen Johnson step up into a role, and they're consistent at whatever they bring to the table. John's been doing it. Jalen has shown some signs of doing it, and what he's shown signs of is being a reliable shot maker from the three-point line, tremendous finisher in transition. Defensively, he has the ability to guard the ball better than he's ever guarded the ball in his life. And the next phase for him is just really believing he can do it and doing it day in, day out. But all the talent and potential is certainly there.
Let's quick hit on some of the other newcomers. Talk about Olivier's game.
Unlimited upside. And by January, will be a name that the guys in the SEC, when you're doing your scouting report, Tennessee, you're going to say, all right, we got to guard this kid. If not, he can beat us. But like Jalen Johnson, I don't think that he really knows yet how dominant he can be in his role. Has a little bit of Grant Williams in him in the sense of very, very skilled matchup problem. I think Grant coming in had a much better sense of how he was going to play than maybe Olivier does right now. But his upside is unbelievable. He's super talented and he's a worker.
What about
Devontae, just listen to him get interviewed over here to my left. It's amazing. His mindset is unique. 6'7" guard, talented, skilled. He's talking about doing whatever Coach Barnes wants me to as a freshman, what he's saying. And he's telling these guys his defense will be what helps him get on the court. And that's going to be his role for our team day one, which I love.
What about Drew?
Drew Pember has made strides. I think, with being injured a lot of his senior year of high school, he came in this year probably more behind the curve than most of our freshmen because physically he just wasn't ready to compete just yet. And the last few weeks you've seen a huge learning curve from Drew. Super talented, athletic kid with great size. Combo four, but right now he's playing a four. Can really, really shoot it. But as his conditioning improves, as his awareness for what we're doing heightens itself and gets better, I think Drew's got a chance to really impact our program and give us some depth.
And we don't know if Urosh is going to be eligible or not, but what kind of player is he?
Well, I wouldn't be a shame if he didn't. His story, it may be a shame if he's not cleared just because, guys that have gone through what he's gone through prior to coming to Tennessee, to me it should be an automatic deal when you clear the guy. You trust it, in coaches, and it just didn't work out like they said it was going to work out. Great kid, one of the most coachable kids on our team, and he's 7'1", so we need that size and length. When he's eligible, I just think he'll bring a sponge to the table where you're going to see him get better every single day. We already have. He'll bring an inside presence, but what he does right now, as good as anybody probably in the country at that size, is he is a tremendous passer. And he's like a point center, which I've never seen before, you know, as a player offensively.
And then Victor, probably won't be eligible this year, maybe next year, but he's still there in practice with you. What can he bring to the table to help you?
Veteran, mature guard who knows how to play, who can flat out put the ball in the basket. He can score the basketball at the best of them. Tremendous athlete. He's got great DNA, great genes. His parents were stud athletes and good at in their sports. And he's learning, though. It's a brand new system. It's a different approach. We play different than Oregon played. So that, to his credit, he's learning. But, it's a transition, and he's had some great days, and he's had some days that haven't been so great. But you can see the ability and see the toughness and resolve in a young man.
As seemingly every year, I'm really excited about this group, aren't you?
I am because I think when your culture is right, and our culture's been right here for a while, I think when your leadership is the best in the country, I'm excited because this is my 5th year here, and I couldn't work for a better guy. Like I'm learning every day. I think all of us, myself, Mike Schwartz, and Kim English, would all say that we think we're prepared to be in the next chair as head coaches one day because we have the best in the country developing us in that area. He allows you to do your job, so let you coach, let you recruit, let you mentor your guys. So we're just really excited about our team because our leadership is unbelievable.
Have you talked to Rob much since you went to Georgia?
Often. Rob's family. I don't have any brothers by blood per se, but that's the one I have. There's a couple guys I would say that about Rob Lanier and Carlin Hartman, and so Rob and I talk at least once a week. I think he's excited to be back in that chair again as head coach. I know he's ready for it. He's inherited a pretty solid situation. He's going to recruit great players. He's going to be a great mentor to those guys and coach them up.
You mentioned Kim. Last thing, how has he blended in to the staff? What's he sort of brought to the table?
His youth and his enthusiasm is unbelievable. Sometimes when you hire a veteran coach, a guy that might be a little older, you're going to get something different. You're going to get maybe a guy with more contacts or a guy that, who can do this, who brings this skill. Kim's 30 years old. He can still play. He can relate to our guys a little bit differently than an older coach might be able to do it. And on top of that, he's a tremendous basketball coach. He played in this league, or played at Missouri, who's in this league. He's been a really big addition to our staff.
Coach, good to talk to you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.